This video is to demonstrate what I've built so far for fleet work orders in the CMMS. This is a work in progress, and I'm hoping that this will help us focus on what we need to add to this work order to make it track the things we need it to track. So first off, I'm showing Field Force on Windows, and I'm going to show you how to find a vehicle. So there's a couple ways that you can find a vehicle. The first way is to search for either Antioch or Concord and select on the site. So in this case, I'm going to search for Antioch. It will come up and find the Antioch Service Center here. And you can see it brings up a hierarchy. And within this hierarchy is the East County Fleet. If we open East County Fleet, you'll see all of the fleet assets in here. So and they're all by vehicle number. So you could just scroll down, find the vehicle number in question and put that in there. Alternatively, my vehicle number is VO35. I could just put the vehicle number in the search directly, and you'll see that it finds the vehicle that way as well. So it finds one asset, it's a vehicle asset. I'll go ahead and select that asset, and it will load up the asset data for this. Now you can see I've already played with this a little bit. So the history has a 1 here, meaning there's been one work order on this. So you can see that as you bring the fleet up, the individual fleet items, you'll be able to see any current work orders under this tab, any historical work orders under this tab. So right now I'm going to hit the start. I'm going to say create new work order. I'm going to go to the work type field, and fleet general work order is one of our options. I'm going to set this waiting approval. So this is, I'm putting in a work request to Central County Maintenance to do some work on this vehicle. So I'm going to pick Central County Maintenance. They're the ones that do this. The owner will be Dion. He owns this work. I'm going to set the priority to low. I'll let Dion adjust the priority as he sees fit. And then the work class, I'm going to say is corrective maintenance. And then under the description, I'll put V035. Let's say needs alignment. The rest of these fields aren't necessary for a vehicle work order. So I'll just go ahead and hit save now. Now this will go out to Maximo. It'll grab the data for the vehicle asset. It'll grab the job plan for this fleet general work order and build us a work order. And here's our work order, 215786. If I open up the summary, I can see the information that I put in. The long description, again, the short description should be very short. It should be the asset number and maybe a 2 or 3 word description of what's needed. The long description, I could put, vehicle is pulling to the right at speeds over 30 miles per hour, like whatever those longer details are here. And I could have done that before I saved it and created the work order. But again, the short description should be a short description. The long description, you can put as much detail as we need in there. Now the meat and potatoes of this work order is under the task list and the fleet task. Now I'm not saying that this is correct. I just wanted to put some bare bones thing together to start the conversation on what is or is not needed in this section. So the fields that I've created are the work section of the fleet asset. So I tried to include all of the work sections that own vehicles. So in this case, I'll say that this is Central County Maintenance owns this vehicle. The driver or operator is me. The current odometer, again, I don't know what the current odometer is, but let's say this is probably pretty close. And then the requested fleet service. Now, obviously, this is not a complete list. I just put a couple sample things in there. So we should develop this list so that it's pretty complete. And then of course we'll have the other as a catch-all for anything that we might be requesting on this vehicle that we did not put into this list, right? So in this case, I'm going to select other because it's not one of these 5 here. And details if other was selected. I'll go ahead and say alignment needed. Then I'll save this, all right? So what we can do on this is based on the section that I put in there, 423, the supervisor of section 423 can have an omni tile that says collect up all fleet work order types that have my section put into that task list and count those up for me. In status is everything except for completed or closed, right? So it doesn't matter what status it's in, as long as it's not completed or closed, because if it is completed or closed, I should know about it. The vehicle's been returned to my section. So basically, I've put in a work order. I want to know what the status of this vehicle is. So any statuses, show them to me. It'll show me the list of all work orders that are fleet work orders that were sent from my section and what their statuses are. Now, from an admin standpoint, in terms of what Dion's doing, you know, he can come in here and under the summary, there's a number of statuses he can set this to. So here's the pick list on the statuses. So he can move this from waiting approval to approved. That basically would signify to the section who put this work order in that, hey, this work, I've seen the work order, I've approved this work, it's going to get done. He could put it on waiting to be scheduled. That this could be like, hey, I don't have resources to do this right now, or, you know, I'm you know, waiting to put this on the schedule. It is scheduled. It's waiting on the contractor. If this was SoCal Fleet was going to do this, or, you know, we made an appointment with, you know, Ford or whoever we sent this to do some work, we could say we're waiting on the contractor. You know, we could say it's in progress. We could say it's waiting on materials. You know, again, so there's a number of these statuses that we could key on to indicate, you know, what the status of this is. I would suggest that within the task list, maybe we need a field here with a pick list that says, you know, it's at the it's at the vendor, it's at the shop. It's, you know, maybe we could put in a, you know, estimated completion date, you know, that's a time and a date, you know, so a supervisor could go, okay, well, you know, we called up Clayton Quality Auto. They said they could get it in, you know, next Tuesday, and it should be done by Wednesday. So, you know, I could have a field here that's a date and time that says estimated complete date that I could update and put in, you know, next Wednesday, you know, noon or whatever, and say this is when we anticipate the work will be done. So really what we need to do is think about what fields are needed here, and what pick lists are needed here. You know, what services should we be tracking? Do we want to track if it's, you know, what vendor it's at, if we want to put, you know, Ford and Clayton Quality, or, you know, or just a free form that says, you know, what vendor's doing this work, and somebody could free form type that in, these sorts of things. So, you know, again, this is a bare bones work order form, just trying to give you some idea of what we could be building into this, just to get the thought processes going here. So anyways, I'll go ahead and send this out. You guys take a look at it. If there's any questions or comments, please get them back to me, and I'll start revising this. This is all in the test database, so, you know, I can revise this, move it around, all that sort of stuff. And once we get it dialed in, I can build it over in production, and we can start using this. All right, thank you.